I wanted to show how to install XAMPP, a bundle that includes MySQL, or rather a fork of MySQL, a industry strength database management system. And what you do is you go to the download page of Apache Friends. So if you search for XAMPP here, XAMPP download, you get to the XAMPP download page. There's actually a bunch of pages here, and we really want this one, Apache Friends, and then we take the latest versions of PHP. PHP is a interpreted script language to create web pages and customize them. So we're going to go download this. I've already done that actually. The installer, it's up here, it's quite big. And so I'm just going to run the installer. And to do that, I go here and run it, XAMPP Windows installer. It asks me, do you want to allow this device to make changes to your device? Yes. And then a so-called Bitnami warning opens up. I'm going to take this down, and it says that you should not install this to C program files here in the middle, but which means that this is a section of Windows where you're not allowed to create files. And in the course of running the database, you all the time will have to create files, and in order not to get in the way of Windows, you put it into a user directory or at the main directory, the C colon here. So let's go through it. The setup wizard starts. You click next. You can take a few of these out if you like, which you don't need. You really don't need a mail server, all those things. But you definitely need Apache, MySQL. You don't need an FTP server. I keep it in here. You don't need Perl. You only need PHP. And you do want PHP-MyAdmin, because this is the administrative graphical user interface for MySQL. And then we have this folder here. You see, we should not put it in program files or program files x86. We're just going to keep it here at the OSC level. So at the C, just the path that is proposed, and go on. Keep it in English and go on. And now it's ready to install. And I don't think we have to do this. It gives you a little bit of information while it installs. Includes the Apache distribution with MySQL, PHP, and Perl. There are a few interesting applications here. Moodle, for example, a big learning management system. This is Drupal. This is WordPress, the leading blog creation software. So what you saw there were so-called content management systems. All content management systems, these are the most famous ones. This one is Joomla, are based on a database, and MySQL, the open source database, or MariaDB, is the one that is most likely used for those. Now, these are databases for multi-user access. So unlike SQLite, you have to deal with user management here. So there's a root user, and you can set up other users. Now the question is, setup has finished XAMPP on your computer. Do you want to start the control panel? Yeah, yes, we do. And again, the question, do you want this app to make changes? Yes, we do. And this is what opens. This is the control panel right away. And you see a bunch of modules here on the left-hand side, Apache, MySQL, FileZilla, and you can start them. You can also go to the shell. If you go to the shell, you have access from here to all of these. Now I haven't tried that. I'm just going to open a shell here and see what happens. This is the shell that gives us access to the XAMPP environment. So this is not MySQL, but we could get to it from here if we wanted to. Then you can go to the Explorer, there's various services, and you can quit. Now the configuration we might get into later. Right now, all I want to do is start the Apache server. And green means, and here service check mark would mean it's started. I'm going to wait until that happens. You see here process IDs. You see certain ports that are used to access the web server. The web server is a program that has a lot of channels open, and the channel 80 is the standard channel for HTTP. The hypertext transfer protocol 443 is another one, I think, used for FTP, but I'm not sure. So this looks fine at the moment. It's running, and we're going to start MySQL as well. I don't know where the service buttons here is. Or is it installed as a Windows service? I don't know. Anyway, we only wait for the green sign here. And this is all we need, Apache and MySQL. So now we're going to look for, I think, services. No, services is not what we want. Let's have a look at configuration. The editor, we don't really want Notepad. We, of course, want Emacs. So I'm just going to add Emacs here as the main editor. System default, let's leave that. Auto start of modules, no, we're going to not start that. If you do click these, that means that the system, you will have a database and a web server running all the time, but you probably don't want that. And I think that's it for now. And now we have to go to the admin. And here you see the admin buttons. And if I click here on admin, what happened, as you saw very quickly, is really the main thing that we wanted here, that I wanted to show you, which is you now get into the PHP administration level. And you can do a bunch of things here. You can create a new database. You're going to do this in class. You can open SQL console, so we can actually look at tables, show databases. It's one of the commands, and we have to show this query here again, return the query backs, and when you do that, you see the different databases that exist here. Test, PHP, MyAdmin, Performance, Short Schema, MySQL, and Information Schema. Those are the ones here on the left-hand side. And you can see we just got the answer here at the bottom. We can also look at tables. Let's, for example, look at show tables. You can see that is a command that exists. There's a lot of completion here. We can run that command, but there are no tables because we haven't selected a database. We could, for example, select this one. And now we have in this database, test is the one we have selected. No tables found in database. And we could now create a table. So all the old stuff would work here, like create table test. We can do that here without actually specifying what we want, but we can also just do that. Integer, I think integer is the one that works here. I'm very used to SQLite, so I have to resurrect my knowledge of MySQL, and this may actually not work. So let's see if it works. No, it doesn't work. Unrecognized data type. Oh, I see. So sorry, that's not the right data type. We want something else. For example, text. It should work. That works. It's an empty result set, 0 rows, but the table should now be there. If we go show the query box, and we delete this, and we go show tables, and we should now see the tables test. And there you are. Tables and test is test, this one. It's not a very pretty environment, but there you are. Now, another thing here that's interesting, this is a, as you can see, a browser. So what the web server, this Apache server does is it opens a web page for you and runs this administrative program, which is PHP MyAdmin. And this is like a proper web environment where you could actually add all kinds of HTML or PHP pages and create a web environment that then you could export. And this is the way this is mostly used for web development. I can go home. And now here I'm back and see a lot of information about the database server, the web server, and so on. And that's it. And at the end, when you're done, you can stop it or you can quit. Quit is the easiest, then the services will automatically be shut down. You're going to do that. And when I do that, and the administration here is still there, but it should actually not. Oh, I see. I only quit the configurator. That's interesting. I only quit the configurator and not the actual database. So they're actually running at the moment. So if I really want to stop them, then I need to find my program here in Windows, XAMPP, and there should be a program here, XAMPP start, XAMPP stop, and XAMPP control. This is the one we just were using, I think. Every time you do that, it asks you if you want to make changes. And here, so the quit just quits this control panel, and we want to stop the Apache server and the MySQL. First of all, let's stop the MySQL. Now this is stopped, and watch what happens when I try to go into MySQL. It loads forever. As you can see, invalid settings. So the environment's still on, but the database doesn't work. I can try to reconnect, no problem, but it doesn't reconnect to the database because it's not happening. And if we stop the Apache web server, then we will also not be able to get this page anymore. So the page will try to load. This site can't be reached. So now we have shut it all down. We quit it, and that's the end of this little demonstration.